If you spent more than 2 weeks at a car dealership, you've heard from other car salespeople this same thing. Oh my God, I just spent 4 hours with the same customer. We test drove 8 different cars. They don't know what they want. It was just a complete waste of time. I can guarantee you that 99% of the time, that's your fault. The customer comes into the dealership, number one, kind of thinking that you're going to be a scumbag, and number two, probably not knowing exactly what they want. If they do know what they want, then perfect. You're never going to have this conversation. But if a customer comes into the dealership and they say, oh, I want to look at this car, 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 and maybe this car, and then you ask them, well, okay, front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive for those cars? I don't know, both? If that's the customer you're dealing with, then it is your job before any test drives to narrow them down. And I will tell you, once in a while, they will fight to try out every single thing they've listed. But overall, most of the time, if you can break down what they need, what they drive right now, and what their budget is, quickly, efficiently, and with some grace, so you're not just saying, well, like, how much can you spend per month? But you're like really seeing where this fits into their life, you can put them on a car, 1, 2, or 3 cars, and test drive them in those. 3 is the absolute maximum. Any customer that you're driving with more than 3 cars, you probably made a mistake somewhere in the path. Your job is to be a salesperson. That means to show them product that you have that would fit their needs that they want to buy. Now, them wanting to buy it or not, it's just going to come down to, number one, your product demonstration, and number two, whether or not they like it. And a lot of that has to do with their personal opinions. And some people like brown cars, some people like black cars, some people like big ones, some people like small ones. You're not going to be able to completely pick and choose, and you'll never force a customer to buy a car. But what you can do is provide a couple of options. I've read about a study where they showed, I think it was like people at Safeway, like 8 different jams. And they had them try all the, huckleberry jam, blackberry jam, magic berry jam, whatever, all the different kinds of jams. And overall, at the end of it, they had them rate each jam. And then they did a completely separate study where they showed people 3 jams, just like a strawberry, a blackberry, and a blueberry jam, and had them rate them. And you know what? The average rating of the jams was higher when they had less options, because customers don't want a lot of options. People don't want a lot of options. They want a couple of good options. That's why online dating is so hard. There's a million different options. That's why picking what you want to eat for dinner in a city is so hard, because there's a million different options. But your job as a salesperson is to get in with them in a friendly way that's genuine, find out their needs, and put them on a product that fits them. If you find yourself wasting 4 or 5 hours test driving every single car you guys make, number one, I bet you didn't sell a car. And number two, the customer's not even happy with the experience. At the end of the day, like, oh my God, I just spent like so long at the dealership. And they didn't buy a car. They're not happy with anything they tried. Everything's got some good parts. No. You need to narrow them down before they ever come in. So it's really, really important to assess their needs and put them on 1, 2, or maximum 3 different cars. A lot of it has to do with what you bring up, because the customer's read a lot online, and that's just the customer of the 21st century. So if you're going to go in and start hitting them with so much information about all the different products that you guys offer, they're going to feel inundated and kind of like they had to try them all. If somebody tells me, oh, I have 8 different kinds of jams to try, I'm not going to say, let me just try one. I'm going to say, well, okay, let me try all 8. That's human nature. But if you cut through the noise and say, hey, you know what, it sounds like you need this and this. So I'm happy to show you the other cars, but let's start with these 3. I promise you, if you deliver that well and then show them the product well, at the end of that, at the end of showing them those 1, 2, or maybe 3 cars, they're going to go, yeah, you know what, I really liked option number 2. But if you say, okay, let's go check out those 8, we'll start here, and then we'll do that one, then we'll do that one, let me just go get 8 keys, I'll put them all in my pockets, you're never going to get anywhere. So it's key. A key part of being a car salesperson is being able to listen to the needs, assess them, and line them up with what you have in inventory. Thanks for watching, and subscribe.